Hello everyone, we are Jessel, Diego, Jan, and Ari, and for our project in Geographical Analysis of International Business, we chose the alliance between the NFL and Microsoft. We picked this case because at first it may look like a normal sponsorship, but once we researched it more, we realized it is much deeper than that. This is not just Microsoft placing its logo next to the NFL. It is a long-term relationship where Microsoft technology is being used in real football operations, scouting, business workflows, and even stadium management. We also like this case because it combines two industries that already have a lot of power on their own, sports and technology. The NFL is one of the most visible sports leagues in the world, while Microsoft is one of the largest technology companies in the world. When these two organizations work together, the alliance reaches a huge scale. It affects all 32 NFL clubs, coaches, scouts, staff, and business teams, and millions of fans. Now let us give a snapshot of the two organizations. First, Microsoft. Microsoft is a public company headquartered in the United States, and it operates in the technology industry. Its main areas include software, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, devices, cybersecurity, and enterprise solutions. In its 2025 annual report, Microsoft reported $281.7 billion in revenue and $128.5 billion in operating income. The report also states that Azure surpassed $75 billion in annual revenue for the first time, which shows how strong Microsoft's cloud business has become. Microsoft also reported around 228,000 full-time employees, with more than 100,000 of them working outside of the United States. Microsoft repeatedly highlights three priorities: security, quality, and AI innovation. These priorities connect directly with what the NFL needs, because the NFL depends on reliable systems, fast information, and secure technology, especially during live games and large-scale league operations. Now the NFL. The NFL is not a public company like Microsoft. The NFL is a professional sports league made up of 32 franchises. It operates as one of the most powerful sports organizations in the world, with a very strong media presence, major sponsorship activity, and growing international expansion. It was founded in 1920, and today it continues growing through international games and global market programs. Even though the NFL does not publish one simple annual revenue number the same way a public corporation does, there are still strong indicators of its scale. In 2025, it suggests more than $13.8 billion distributed across the league in national revenue alone. So if we compare both sides, we have Microsoft bringing AI, cloud services, software devices, and digital infrastructure, while the NFL brings one of the strongest sports platforms in the world, with huge fan engagement, live event operations, and international growth potential. It is strategic because Microsoft is not only promoting its brand through the NFL, its tools are actively used in football and business operations. It is international because both brands operate globally, and the NFL itself is expanding into more international markets.
Thanks, Cesar. Now, I'm going to explain the motivations behind the alliance, because this is what really shows whether the relationship is strategic or not. If we start with Microsoft, one obvious motivation is visibility. The NFL is one of the most watched sport leagues in the world, and if Microsoft technology is being used by NFL teams, coaches, and front offices, that gives a lot of company credibility. But motivation goes way beyond exposure. Microsoft is trying to prove that its AI tools are not just office tools, and it wants to show that they can work in fast, high-pressure, real-time environments, and that is exactly what football is. Decisions happen in seconds, games are decided by very small details, and teams need information fast. So if Microsoft Copilot, Azure AI, and Surface devices can support that environment, then Microsoft can show that its products have value in all their demanding industries. Now, in that sense, the NFL becomes both a client and a showcase, where Microsoft is not only selling technology to the NFL, it is also using the NFL as a visible example of what its AI and cloud systems can do in practice. It's almost like saying, if our technology can help an NFL coaching staff process information during a live game, imagine what it can do for a company, a hospital, a logistics operation, or a large business team. And honestly, from the NFL sides, the motivations are also strong. First, the NFL wants better decision making. The official announcement says that Microsoft technologies like Copilot and Azure AI help improve sideline evaluation, workflows, scouting, and stadium operations. That means that the NFL is using the alliance not just for the image, but for competitive and operational improvement. Also, a second NFL motivation is consistency at scale. The league has 32 clubs, many layers of staff, major live events, and growing international commitments. And that is where technology needs to be more reliable, scalable, and standardized. The 2025 partnership says that the new setup reaches all 32 clubs, around 1,800 players, and more than 1,000 coaches and football staff members, which is league-wide infrastructure, not just a one-team experiment. So if we simplify it, Microsoft wants visibility, proof of concept, and stronger positioning in AI. The NFL wants faster decisions, better workflows, modernized scouting, and support for long-term international expansion. Both sides are getting something very specific and very useful, which is exactly what we expect in real strategic alliances.
Thanks, Diego. Now, I will explain the stages of the alliance and how it is managed in daily life because that shows whether the relationship is mature or just recent publicity. The first important stage goes back to 2014. Official NFL material explained that starting in the 2014 season, teams began using specially configured Microsoft Surface tablets on the sidelines. Before that, coaches had to work with printed black and white snapshots delivered in binders. So, the alliance started by solving a very practical problem: getting visual game information to coaches faster and more clearly. That first stage mattered because it creates trust. The NFL is very strict about technology used during games. According to the league, any change has to improve the game function reliable and avoid giving one team an unfair advantage. Microsoft had to work closely with the NFL to make sure the devices could handle heat, rain, cold, and field conditions. Even details like the stylus had to be adapted so coaches could use it with gloves in cold weather. That tells us this was not a casual partnership. It involved customization, testing, and operational negotiation. The second stage was deeper adoption over time. Once the devices proved useful, they became part of normal football workflows. Coaches could zoom in, annotate plays, and review early sequence much faster than before. Over time, the technology stopped being something new and became part of routine game preparation and in-game adjustment. The third and most important stage for our project came in 2025, when the NFL and Microsoft announced an expanded multi-year partnership. This new phase introduced Copilot, Azure AI, Surface, Copilot Plus, PCs, AI-powered dashboards, and research into game day operations tools. So the alliance evolved from hardware supports into a broader AI and workflow ecosystem. There are several operational layers in the code chat. Both Microsoft 365 Copilot powered dashboard can help analysts identify insights such as personal grouping and snap counts more efficiently. In game operations, the NFL and Microsoft had explored dashboards for issues like weather delays and equipment.
Challenges and recommendations.
Even though this alliance is strong, it still faces several important challenges. The first one is adoption. Introducing AI tools into the NFL does not automatically mean every coach, scout, or staff members will use them effectively. Football is a high-pressure environment, and if the tools feel too complicated or not intuitive enough, adoption can become uneven. Technology only creates value when people trust it and know how to use it well. The second challenge is reliability. The NFL is not a setting where systems can fail casually. If a device freezes, if a dashboard is delayed, or if a filter gives incomplete information, that can affect game preparation, scouting, or operations. The NFL itself says that technology must work reliably and must not create unfair advantage. So reliability is not just a technical issue, it also means a fairness issue. A third challenge is data quality and decision risk. AI can speed up information processing, but it does not eliminate the possibility of mistakes. If staff start depending too much on filtered outputs or automated summaries, that can create a false sense of certainty. In football, one bad decision can change a drive, a game, a draft pick, or even a season. And the last challenge is balancing innovation with tradition. The NFL is a league with a strong history and identity. It was founded in 1920, and a lot of its appeal comes from the human side of the sport: coaching instincts, player talent, and game management under pressure. As more AI is entered the game, the league has to be careful not to give the impression that football is being run by software instead of by people. Now, our recommendations. First, the NFL and Microsoft, both sides, should maintain a strong focus on responsibility, AI, and human oversight. AI should support decisions, not replace human judgment. In football, the best use of AI is probably a decision accelerator, not as a final decision maker. Second, Microsoft and the NFL should use the alliance more intentionally for international growth. Since the NFL is becoming more global, Microsoft could help build smarter systems for international games, multilingual digital experiences, and more advanced fan engagement in overseas markets. The alliance should remain multi-layered. Right now, one of its strengths is that it creates value in several areas at once: football operations, scouting, both analytics, practice review, marketing, and fan engagement. If the partnership keeps delivering value across both sporting and commercial functions, it becomes harder to replace and more beneficial for both sides. So, what's our final opinion? We think this alliance has a strong future ahead. It is alive, expanding, and more sophisticated than many sport partnerships because it creates an operational value, not just a media visibility. Microsoft gains powerful showcase for AI and enterprise technology, and the NFL gains tools that improve decisions, efficiency, and modernization. Because the league is also expanding globally, the value of a scalable technology partner should only not become more important.